What's up, everyone, and welcome to Let's Have Cocktails.
Oh my god.
Well, welcome, everyone. My name is Amy.
I'm Nikki.
I'm Ashley.
And I'm Roxy.
And Roxy, we're going to go ahead and just let you give it to us, that good old recipe.
Let me tell you, this thing is strong. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I got this one from Kindle. And the name of it is a Mango Tango. He trying to kill somebody with this. He really is. Get your shaker out though. Add some ice. 2 shots of Hennessy. 1 shot of Simply Lemonade. 1 shot of Simply Peach. And 1 shot of mango juice. Shake it up. Pour it over some ice. And baby,
Throw some hair on your chest.
or be humping on somebody tonight.
Look, I see why he be so lit in his damn
Yes.
This drink is
Straight, it's burns. It burns.
the audacity.
We had to add more juice. A little bit.
And it did
more
not help.
juice.
No.
You gonna taste that Hennessy. That Hennessy wanted to be seen.
And sing and her.
And you do in this drink. But it is good. It's good, but it's strong.
If you trying to get lit,
It's the
try
one.
this.
It's the
Yes.
So, yeah. Well, I think this drink is very fitting for the topic today.
I might need 2 of them.
We're discussing why would you want to break up? We're discussing breakups.
What's
Mm.
get it together, both of y'all.
Let me tell y'all, if I just disappear off this episode, just know
You ain't going nowhere.
I'm in my feelings.
She in her feelings.
No, man.
Oh, it's too fresh. But I don't even know how to jump into this one.
I mean, let's just get it. Let's
What?
just
What?
get it.
What?
Let's
So
get
what
it.
y'all think?
All right. So y'all breaking, y'all with your little boo thing or whatever, and things go bad, it goes south. Y'all just start to, just how do y'all come to that point where you're like, you know what, this just it. It ain't gonna work. Like what?
Shit
How do you know
toxic.
you're there?
When it's toxic, when you drifting apart, like those are clear indications.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, I don't know how to let go. I don't. So I'm normally forced out of relationships.
Damn.
Maybe we should rephrase. What she mean is,
No, what I mean is I don't know how to let go. Like, but I will say, my most recent, it just kind of like it was a heated argument, and before I knew it, it was like, okay, well, let it go then. So it was something that needed to happen. I won't say I wanted it to, but in the heat of the moment, that's what was said, and baby, careful what you ask for. But no, in all seriousness, letting go really is hard for me because I haven't had that many actual relationships. So when I get into relationships, in my mind, this is it. This is the person I'm gonna be with. If I say I'm in a relationship with somebody, y'all know it's real. So for me, letting go is just not the thing to do because I feel like this is it. This is it.
it's hard. It's
It's
hard
very
to
hard.
just say, you know what, we just have to let this thing go. But realistically, how do you get to that point where you know, like, all right, this is over? Is it that, like, I done did all the talking I can do, I done got all the advice I can get?
Yeah, I think that it's a combination of things. You continuously asking for something that's not happening. Just common differences, how they are, how you are.
Having the same argument.
Over and over again. That's draining.
Different ways, but it always comes back to the same thing.
I think that it's a lot of reasons to break up. A bunch of them.
And a lot of times we get to the end and it's like, oh my gosh, how did we end up here? But anytime you go through a breakup, you knew y'all was gonna end way before it happened. Like you don't get to the end and be like, oh, this just happened. I don't know. I didn't see it coming.
Do you think that our generation, us millennials, and people that on either side of the millennial spectrum, before or after, do you think that we are less tolerant than our parents and grandparents? Because a lot of our grandparents.
Absolutely.
Is that a negative or positive?
That's a positive.
I think it's a combination of both.
I think it's a thing of knowing your worth. Yeah. And not dealing with the bullshit.
But then we say that, but a lot of people, this is the thing. We say that we're less tolerant. I think what we mean is that we're more vocal. Because people in this generation, they still kick it with people. They still go back. But what we'll do is we'll speak up on it, or we'll have those moments where, okay, I ain't fucking with them. I'm finna go do my own thing. And you do your own thing. But then that person somehow circle back around in your life. And before you know it, y'all all entangled. You know what I'm saying? So I think that it's not that we're more tolerant. We're just more vocal. But we still stick around in toxic situations. Yeah. But I ain't going to say our parents, because my mom got a divorce. But our grandparents, I think because of the time, women didn't speak up as much. They put up with a lot more in silence.
It was more of a business to me in my view. For them, our grandparents and people before, it was more of a business agreement. Of course, they're not gonna use that term, but it was more so of the women didn't work. They 100% relied on their husband to bring in the money and provide for their family, which also means that they didn't have any skill set to go out into the workforce if they did leave their husband. So it was a very dependent relationship, where now we're like,
we both
I can pay bills too. Yeah.
You gonna cook? I'm tired too.
And they also thought they were doing what was best for the children, not realizing that children, you see it. Right. You see the disrespect, you see the cheating, you see the abuse, you see it all.
And the same shit that they see you putting up with, they gonna repeat the same cycle.
They repeat the same
because
thing.
That's what they know and they think is normal.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I guess what do y'all find that are causes? Like what causes breakups?
Damn.
That's a
This nigga said damn. Roxy don't take no accountability. It's always the other person. It's never her fault.
Roxy, let's remember, we already had an episode talking about cheating where it was very clear.
I was very accountable.
It was very clear that it was not them.
Wait a minute. Because I was watching something the other day and they said they got to push you into the arms of somebody else.
Oh my God. What? That's that toxic shit right there.
Right.
I'm kidding. I took responsibility for that. Okay, but now y'all ask me. I'll give you an answer.
I think it's several things.
Yeah.
Just after a while, realizing that you're not compatible. Everything is always an issue. There's always an issue, whether it be with involving other women or for guys, men. Whether it's like you realize that y'all do not view life the same. Like if you get to discussing about raising families, how you see your career. It's just a number of things.
Or they could just be assholes.
And then people that are not willing to compromise. Like some people are set in this whole phrase, this is just me.
Yeah.
I can't stand that shit.
Take me as I am. You knew what it was when you got with me.
That's a very toxic way of thinking, because it's like you recognize your toxic traits, you recognize your negativity, and you're consciously choosing to remain that way. And because let's be real, I'm sure all of us has experienced this with people that we've dated and probably even friends. A lot of people let us know what our toxic traits is, and we don't hear it. This is not the first time I've heard that. Exactly. You've heard it before. So you either make the decision like, okay, I'm gonna better myself and change this about. It's another thing. A lot of people they view change as negative. A lot of people don't like that, and I feel like that's also could be a cause of a breakup, because it's not really change. It's developing and it's growing
as a person.
It's about being an adult.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
Because you have to recognize when someone is actually trying to change the core foundation of you, and when someone is trying to help you grow.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's hard. That's hard to really kind of decipher between.
So, like I said, it's just several causes. It can be anything.
Yeah, it could be. And it's like, it's hard to figure out, hey, do me and this person just really need a mediator? We need to go to counseling and able to have that conversation, but I also believe in we should be able to have a conversation like together. We shouldn't always need, a mediator.
And that's another thing, when you can't have a conversation, everything turns into an argument.
Yeah.
Oh God. Oh. Yes.
It's just being willing to accept that constructive criticism, and it's also about how delivery. It's so many aspects to this.
And I mean, on and on. And then of course there are unique situations, Yeah. So I guess it's a lot.
Yeah, it is. It's a lot of reason why people break up.
A whole lot.
What about like staying longer, like staying in a relationship when you know it's over? Like, have y'all ever, like, been in a relationship and it's not going to last, you just don't know how to walk away?
Yes.
Yeah. I think everybody's been
Everybody's done that.
Like,
everybody did that.
I can't think of who sings it, but it's a song that's like saying, you breaking up is harder to do, so you just stay together.
Mm-hmm.
It's easier to stay together.
Yeah, it is. Sometimes it is easier because you think that you're going to go back. Or something like that. It's just, I don't know.
Like you keep believing that it's gonna get better.
Yeah.
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 And then you just get tired of the going back and forth, like, because you go through these cycles and phases of like, okay, we had this problem. All right, you know what? We work it out, and it lasts for like a month.
Mm-hmm.
Next, we back to the same old shit. That whole cycle, like. At some point, you will get tired. And once you get tired, it's a wrap.
And it becomes draining. Like, have you ever just... You wake up and you just like, what are we going to deal with today? Yeah. And it's like you're walking on eggshells because you're careful. Because if you say one slightly wrong thing, it's finna blow up.
Yeah.
It could be. Good morning.
It's true, because when you're dealing with somebody that's toxic, it's like you wake up in the morning, you're like, what side of the bed, who did I wake up to today?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Some people are just, they wake up and they in that mood, and it's like, how do you, like, now the day you're walking on those eggshells, like any little thing can set them off. And if you are that person, you can be that way, that's a lot. It takes a lot to be
when you're
self-aware.
trying to be the nice, sweet person in a relationship, and they just steady, just like coming at you hard, and it's like nothing you do, not even like you try buying gifts or just making sweet little gestures, and nothing you do helps, and you just like, I can't do it anymore. I tried. I can't do this anymore. And when that's how you know when it's over, when you are so calm about it. You just like, I can't do this anymore. I not only can I not, I don't want to do this anymore.
Been there. Like,
I'm not doing this anymore.
All the stuff that they go through, the emotions of them, like, I don't want to break up and this and that, we can fix it. Like, but at that point, you've made up in your mind that it is over. Right. And there's no going back. So it's not that you're insensitive. It's really that, you know, it's ran its course. Mm-hmm. And the phase that you're going through now, I've already went through it. Mm-hmm. And I've told myself, no matter what happens, I'm not going back.
Right.
Yeah. So you let them have their moment, but, you know, you take all the backlash. You take all the arguments, all the disrespect that comes along with it, because, you know, when people are angry, when you break up, so many things go into their head. They put it into other people's head. Mm-hmm. And next thing you know, y'all can't even be friends at that point.
That's what I was just gonna ask you. Is it more damaging when you stick it out? When it's like staying longer than you need to?
I think it's more damaging. I think it really because you know, it's more damaging because at that point, then you know, y'all not on the same page.
Right.
Because somebody wants to stay and the other person wants to leave. But if y'all are on the same page, then maybe y'all could just, you know, kind of take a little time and then be friends. Mm-hmm. But when y'all not on the same page, you really have to take some time apart and then come back and be friends later, if y'all even get back to that point.
Yeah, I think staying in it longer than it needs to be is what prevents people from maintaining some kind of friendship or like cordial relationship, because you've gotten to a point now where you damn near hate this person.
Yeah, and that's crazy because you spent this much time, however much time you spent with this person, they've gotten to know you. They know you on some intimate levels, you know, even if it's just...
And they know all your insecurities. Yes. They know what to do to get you to get to that low level of like, you feeling this way, and then they just keep hitting you. But at the same time, you just be like, you know what? You can't do it. Like, you can't just be like arguing with them. You can't give them that satisfaction.
My granny always said, when you really tired of something, you'll do something about it. So I just feel like that's how I know when I'm done with something, is when I'm so tired of something that I'm tired of talking about it. I'm tired of thinking about it. I'm tired of stressing over it. I'm just tired. So I'm done. But what are some reasons that you think people stay when they know it's over? Kids.
Kids. Security. Reasons.
Not wanting to start
and you
over.
Actually love them.
Yeah.
Like, and you actually really do love that person. Like, you do love them, and you don't want to let them go.
You see that good in them,
right?
Yeah,
but
you see that good in them.
You need to let them go.
Yeah, you know, like you're like, but they are a good person. Like, you know, they're not a bad person. Mm-hmm. It's just not working. Mm-hmm. And like, I'm not wanting to start over. I know for me at my age, I'm 39. So I'm like, I'm being honest, I don't want to start over. I hate the fact that I'm single now because I have to start over. I have to allow myself to open up to somebody else, get to know another person, go through all those steps. You know, I hate that part of it.
And you don't know that you really don't know what the outcome is going to be. Yeah. Like when you know, I gotta start over. Okay, what's your favorite color? Like, what's your favorite food? It's like you learn all these things, and honestly, you have to be vulnerable and take a chance because you don't know the freaking outcome. You don't. You have no idea what it's going to be.
It's single life sucks. I'm just be real. Single life sucks.
I don't mind starting at this point in my life. I don't mind starting over. Like, I really don't, because in the past I've been in that staying longer than I should. You know, at this point I'm choosing me. Like, fuck that. I'm choosing me. It's over. You do this or I do this. It's not working. It's over.
Yeah. I don't know. See, all of that, it sound good and I know my worth and everything, but I'm just saying, like, I know I'm doing me, whatever. I get up and I go on about life, but that don't change the fact that you still miss having somebody that's accountable for you, having somebody that's thinking of you. You know what I'm saying? That's concerned about you, or having, you know, like me, I'm a nurturing type of person. You know what I'm saying?
Now, don't get me wrong. Now, I say, fuck that, it's over. But I'm going to still be sad as hell.
Okay.
And I'm going to still go through all the same emotions.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard, but you just got to push through.
Yeah. You ain't got no choice.
Yeah. I've been there. I've been in a place where I was talking to somebody and I had those thoughts like, I don't want to start over. I don't want to, you know, all this. I gotta let them go. But like Nikki said, I put myself in that mental place where, whatever. I'll sit here and be sad. I'll sit here and cry. I'll sit here and do whatever. I will put myself through that to do whatever I need to do to move on with my life. Because like you said, I matter. You know what I'm saying? Like when you know your worth, your value, what you bring to the table, it's like I'm gonna have to force myself to go through that. So
look, sitting up in the house with your R&B playlist, dark and shit. Music.
Which R&B does not make shit better.
Well, but it's my favorite genre.
That's the thing.
So I don't have
it.
it. I be like, look, and it just be, I be sitting like, God.
And I listen to that kind of music anyway on a happy day.
Right.
So
look,
then,
that's your get ready music to go out.
So then when you actually going through something, you like, man, I ain't never listened to the song in this type of way. Like, what you say, Tony? You know what I'm saying?
Then you turn on that Monica, you be ready to
turn up. You know, I'm ready to kick down the door and smack your chick. It's like, oh, that music will take you through.
Yes.
It'll have you on a emotional roller coaster ride.
Yes.
One minute you like, oh, I miss those days. Then next minute, fuck that bitch. You know?
Right. Exactly.
You know?
That's like the biggest accomplishment. When you get over that hump, and
You
you
don't
good,
you feel good about yourself?
you like they hit you up with that text, just checking on you like.
Delete.
Whatever.
You start going to get new clothes.
Yes.
Look,
got a new hobby.
finding new stuff to do.
Posting pictures with them bomb ass captions.
You go from posting them sad memes to posting them pictures with them captions. Yes. Go through that phase.
Okay.
And you don't, and then you get to a point you don't care
Yep.
if what they're thinking, how they're feeling. You're posting pictures, you don't care if they see it or not.
Yep.
You know, it's just like you're okay if they, you know, like you're not missing their calls. And some things that reminded you of them doesn't bother you. It doesn't affect you like it was.
As much, yeah.
So that's a huge accomplishment.
Very huge.
Especially when you start talking to new people and you just don't care and you'll post them on your page. That's how you know you really
Well, I don't know. I ain't even post.
The old person.
I don't post nobody on my page anyway. So
Don't post me.
That's true. I don't
So if I'm posting you, crazy.
No, I mean just like it don't have to be like that person, but at least like subtle hints.
Oh,
of
that
like,
I'm moving on.
I'm out here.
I'm out.
You know what I'm
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like posting 2 glasses. I gotta do it subtle. I ain't like y'all. I posted 2 glasses. I'm not out here by myself. You don't know how
look, posting a cute picture, feeling real special on this Friday night.
Feeling love.
I'm feeling love.
That's it right
The
there.
problem come in where Alex been and post the same damn glasses. Bitch, now they know it's shit. My bad. My caption.
My bad.
So can breakups be cordial and peaceful?
I think so.
They can.
I don't think I've experienced
I was
it.
just gonna say I don't know.
No. But I
don't
think
know
that
if
they
I
can be
experienced
like if you say, hey, this is just not working. We're just 2 different people. We just don't think the same. We don't, certain things just don't line up. I feel like It can.
It just ain't happen for me. I do be wishing I could have one of them TV like breakups where they sit down and they having that moment where
Joan,
I love you. Yeah. Sitting there crying.
I feel like she had so many breakups and they was never really like that bad.
Right. Like when she told her boyfriend she was cheating with the agent.
Yeah. He come back and he say,
you know, I thought about it. Yeah. Ain't nobody ever did that to me.
Girl.
That's why that shit is TV. That's why it's TV.
Absolutely.
Like, ain't no way.
I think they can.
I mean, I do think people do have them.
Yeah,
Not me. That's all I'm saying.
But they're out there.
Maybe some of our followers, y'all can let us know about your peaceful, cordial breakup. Because I've yet to experience it.
I haven't. That's crazy that I haven't.
But if it is peaceful, or even if it's not, do you think at some point that you can be friends, like hold a true friendship with your ex, like after the breakup?
I have.
Now see, when I'm saying friendship, is it a friendship like y'all just speak on the phone every blue moon, or is it a friendship like you can hang out with them even in a new relationship?
Yeah.
I would like it to work up.
I would say yeah. Look, I would say yeah. Roxy on the couch talking something. Nah, are you ready?
I feel like I could, but I don't know. Like the people that are exes to me, when they start moving around differently, they feel like, no, I shouldn't be hanging with you like that. You know, based on their person. And so, you know, for me, I'm just like, okay. But
I have one ex that I'm actually friends with, as far as, you know, we still communicate, probably more so than other people, but it's also because I'm really close to the family.
mm-hmm.
But I think even outside of that, we would still maintain a friendship, but it's been several years since we dated. So I'm talking
Right, you're not even the same person that you were back then.
There is nothing between us. Absolutely nothing.
Different.
So it's been like over 10 years.
And see, that's what I think. I think it comes along with time.
Mm-hmm.
Because if it's like, let's say, 3 years, 2 years, nah, you ain't ready for that yet.
What you mean?
Like, y'all been broke up in like 2 years, 3 years.
How many
Like,
years you got to be before y'all can
No, I'm
be
saying.
No, I get it, because
I'm saying,
you
like,
still, y'all can be friends, but it can still, emotions can draw up.
Yeah, I got an ex like that. My ex, like, she's probably my only real relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say our breakup was pretty peaceful once we finally decided to split. But now we're cool. We talk every blue moon. But sometimes, like, if we're talking and she getting her feelings and emotions about who she's currently dating, she starts reminiscing.
Mm-hmm.
And so at that point, I'm like, all right, you know what I'm saying, like.
And that's what makes. I think that's what makes
but we got to go back.
But I think that's what makes your current partner uncomfortable. Because sometimes I think, like, I know for me, like, when I'm in a relationship, I want to be okay with you being friends with exes. You know what I'm saying? But it's still sometimes that thought in the back of your head, like, what if me and you are having a moment and you happen to be talking to this person and y'all get to reminiscing? And it's not to say that y'all even really truly have feelings for each other still, but you fall into a moment.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then you let that moment go a little further than it needs to go. Now you've taken it somewhere that me and you can't come back from.
Yeah.
And I think that's what our current partners, or me, like, I'll be worried about.
Yeah.
It's not that I don't trust you, I just know that you're human.
Yeah. That's
And I
what
know
it
you,
is.
but I don't know them.
That's true.
Right. They might have an ulterior.
Right, and
motive.
and from what you told me, I'm not really that comfortable with all this yet. Like, you gotta give me some time.
Right.
So,
That's true. That is very true.
What happens, like, when you're in a relationship and one person wants to leave, but the other person wants to work it out?
You have to leave.
What if you're the person that wants to work it out?
I got to leave. Because
you don't want to get with somebody who don't want you.
Exactly. So how do I continue to try to make that person see where I'm at, and vice versa? They're at a certain point, and I'm at a certain point. If they have already checked out, you are bumping your head against a brick wall. That's what you're doing. Because I've done that before in a relationship, and I tried counseling and all this. She just wasn't receptive to it because she wasn't ready. She wasn't at that level of wanting to even accept nothing from me because, I did something really bad. But once she did come around, I had checked out. I was like, oh, I'm good. So it was just like,
you feel like you tried.
I tried. And then when I was done trying, that's when she like, oh, I'm ready. I'm like, oh, no.
It's over.
I ain't ready no more.
And conversations like this make you wonder, how do people be in these 30, 40-year relationships, marriages? Like, they had to have gone.
Unhappy.
All this stuff we're talking about, they had to have gone through all of this. And somehow they overcame it. How?
I don't know, because I'm going to tell you, from my breakups, I just was drained. I think that's what allowed me to walk away or accept a breakup, because I had to keep reminding myself how drained I was and how unhappy. And that's where I think I am with relationships now, that if I ever find myself unhappy, I think I would be ready to walk away based on past experiences.
My parents have been married for 36 years. On New Year's Eve, it will be 37 years.
Mm-hmm.
I want that. Like, that's not easy to come by. And I'm not saying things have always been great as far as financial stability. But even now as an adult, when I look back at us growing up, like me and my sister, mm-hmm. when I look back at us growing up, you can see shifts in the relationship as far as hey, when we had it, when we didn't have it. When, you can see the turns of where somebody moved up, making more money, and the other person, you can see the shift. Mm. And so, but they always adapted to it. And so, to me, it was never more like a dominance of my dad being this dominant, I run the house. We knew at the end of the day, my dad's word was law.
Yeah.
So no matter what happened, as far as you talking about financially, emotionally, or household stuff, it was never a thing of asserting his dominance or making my mom feel like she was less of a person than him.
Right.
So I want that, even though it's a hetero thing. I would rather have it in a homo situation.
Okay. I don't even see that long for me. I just think, can we make it to 2-3 years?
You said 2 or 3 years.
And I'm saying 2 or 3 years without breakups in between.
Oh yeah.
That's what, you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm starting off with, short-term goals for relationships.
That's true.
Once we hit 5, if I hit 5 years with somebody consecutively, I might just be head over heels.
I'm all for celebrating many milestones that get you to the 1 year. Then that gets you to the 2 years, the 3 years, the 5 years. I'm all for that, because to me, that's very important.
That makes sense. I never thought about it like that, because your mindset is you're valuing what y'all have in the present moment.
Right.
And I never looked at it that way, and that kind of makes sense, because we're always looking forward. We're always going, we're going to make it a year. We're going to make it through this. We're going to make it. Instead of just looking at the present moment, we've been doing this, That's a good perspective.
I'm nervous to do that.
You say you're nervous?
You have to live in the moment, because reality is we don't, like the saying is, tomorrow's not promised.
It's not. Oof. It is, like, I mean, I get what you're saying. It do make sense. I never thought about it like that. I just don't know if I'm there. I don't know. Can you all recall like a rough breakup?
Yes.
Like think about your roughest breakup. What was that like for you?
Sickness. It was very, very rough because I uprooted and moved to Texas with this person. So if she listening, she know who the fuck she is. And we got here. We were good for a little bit. Actually, we came out here really not on the best of terms. We were good for a while. We moved into a place together. And she started working somewhere and started seeing one of the people at work.
Work relationships.
And she tried to play me so bad, like, because I would get up in the middle of the night, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, and she on the phone with this person. And I'm just like, what are you doing? And she's like, well, I work late, so this is the only time I have to be on the phone with people. Girl, do I look like boo or something? And so it went from that to, oh, now I'm not coming home no more. I'm staying with this person. And you just over here. But she was still paying certain things at the apartment. And so she felt like she could control everything at that apartment and where she was, I guess. I don't know how that was being ran, but she was at 2 places. And she was telling me, you know, you can't have nobody over there. But you're not even here. What you mean? I don't understand. And so one day I was like, I'm moving the fuck out of here. And we went back and forth. She threatened to turn lights off. Like, I saw a whole different side of this person. Like, I had been told years previously, like, this is how y'all would end. I've been like, you done. No, it's not. Right. It would never end like that between us. But it was so messy. And all of our stuff was so intertwined that it was like, to me, and I tell people all the time, I've been through a divorce already. Like, because I had never been that intertwined with anybody and their finances. I'm on your insurance. I'm on your car note. I'm on your phone bill.
Look, I'm still benefiting from that. From that phone discount.
You are the only one still on it.
I'm telling that discount is good.
That is a good discount. I ain't gonna lie. You grandfathered in,
girl. They try to change it every time.
But it was horrible. I mean, like, oh my God, so many ups and downs, so many emotional roller coasters. I couldn't eat, I couldn't sleep, I lost so much weight. It was just horrible. And the fact that I was here in Dallas and I had nobody but her, I was like, this bitch did this to me.
But look at God.
It was, yeah.
Look at you now.
Look at him.
Look at him.
Because my sister said, you need to come back home. I said, oh no. I done moved out here. I'm going to figure it out. So I got my little place. Got my little job. Well, I had a job already, but it was the first time me being like completely independent. Mm-hmm. That was very scary. I think that's why I held on to her for so much longer than what we should have, because we knew we needed to break up before we left Mississippi. We knew. But we tried, to push through. But yeah, it was rough. It was very rough, and I don't anticipate ever having to do no shit like that again. I don't anticipate it. But right. You don't know.
You never know. Ashley and Nikki, what did y'all experience with your roughest or most worst or worst? Can't even talk.
I mean, me personally, we were living together. Mm-hmm. I saw a different side of them because they weren't the emotional type. Mm-hmm. So I'm looking at them like, why are you crying? Because I don't see you cry, especially not over that. Like, so it was very shocking and confusing because to me, I always thought they didn't care.
Mm-hmm.
And so now that I'm like, oh, I'm done, it was like, oh no, you not done. And I'm like, oh, I'm done. So that side of them that I saw, I felt sorry. Like, I felt bad, but I knew that if I went back, it would continue the cycle. So I just didn't want to do that anymore. Because we had literally grown apart like years before that. We were just steady holding on to the idea of us. And that idea, you know what I'm saying, can fuck up a lot of stuff. But now we're both in better situations as far as like, you know, better placement in life. We both have grown. Like, she's a friend now, you know what I'm saying? But I'm not saying we're like best friends, but we're friends. We're very cordial. We still talk every now and then. But we just knew that it was time to move on.
Ashley, what about you?
I don't think I've had a rough breakup. That one real relationship, like, some things happened and we came to terms. I felt like Nikki said, I saw a different side of her, like who she was, and that initiated like the decline with us. But when it came to us finally like just separating, even when we finally like broke up, we still had a place together. Like, we still was in an apartment, so we had like months left in the lease. And I felt like we handled it pretty cordial. Like, we wasn't fighting. We wasn't doing, it was a very respectful situation up until the lease ended and we went our separate ways, honestly. It wasn't, I can't say it was a bad situation with her.
Y'all lucky.
What was yours, Amy?
Let me tell you. Long story short, because I can't go too deep, but it was rough. I'm going to say, like, I heard both of y'all say you saw a different person. I will say I didn't like who I became. I became, first of all, I don't think I've ever been this and that in love with anyone before nor after this person. Well, after, I don't think I've been in love because I don't think I allowed myself to go that far. But with that person, I was. When I say I was just gone, you know what I'm saying? I was gone. And the thing, so when it was ending, it was so hard. But at the same time, she was what people didn't see was the fight that she would present to me, for me to hold on to me. Even though she was doing things that I needed to leave. But I didn't want to let go. It was just, I became, like, I was angry. I was an extremely angry person. I couldn't even have, like, enjoy my friendships. Because I had checked out. I had checked out mentally from friendships. I had checked out from family, because everything was just surrounded around this person. And even when we kind of broke up, I would date other people, but I was so gone to the point to where I'm telling these people that I'm kicking it with, look, we can kick it, but know that my heart is somewhere else. And if this person calls, I'm going to answer. If this person tells me I'm coming into town, just know you won't hear from me. Wow. And don't expect me to answer the phone. I mean, I laid it.
You weren't ready to date people, like.
I wasn't ready. But I did it because she was doing her own thing, but I still gave her control over me. And then, like, that was the first time, like, I was dealing with other females, not on my part, but it's like they coming at me. I'm like, bitch, she lying to both of us. Like, why you mad at me? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But I was just a very unhappy person. I was an extremely unhappy person. I did some things. I acted out. I'm not acting like I was perfect with her, because I would act the fool, the fighting, you know, acting a fool in public.
Oh, I can't do that. Don't you fucking embarrass me.
Yeah, we ain't doing this outside the house.
Well, it wasn't embarrassing to me. I mean, what was embarrassing to me is you out doing this stuff in front of my face and everybody seeing it. So I already felt disrespected. So
you just took it to another level.
Yes.
Like, I'm gonna put all this shit out.
Yes. And around that time, I think that's when I met you, Roxy. Mm-hmm. And I was not a good person. I just got to a point to where I was like, God, I just need you to remove me from this situation. And we did continue to live together at one point, after we broke up. And even in talking about all this, y'all have to understand, we broke up so many times. There were times where she moved, was with someone else. I'm in a different state, but somehow we would always come back together and still be dealing with each other. And finally, I let it go. Well, I say we let it go, because we both were coming back to each other. So it was like not one person's responsibility. But eventually we both just walked away. And I did have to pray on it. And I made a promise to God to never act like that in another relationship. I feel like he tested that promise with the next relationship. But I passed the test because I know I should have acted a donkey on her ass. But I did not. And I've never acted out like that. Like, nobody's ever seen that side of me ever again. But I don't feel like nobody's ever fully had me like that again, you know. As I have been in love again, but it's never been to that extent and on that level.
Do you feel you cheating yourself though?
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't feel like I'm cheating myself, because the thing is, if the thing about that relationship was, it was the cheating that was the biggest issue, but I have not met another partner that we were on the same level of loving each other. Because I feel like in a lot of my, I've had 2 relationships after her, and I don't feel like those 2 people were on the same level as giving and nurturing as that ex. We were on the same level. Like, I could count on her to be there. Outside of the cheating, we were there for each other. And my other 2 exes, it hasn't been that. So, I don't know. I mean, if I find somebody that's worthy for me to give 1,000%, I'll give 1,000%. I don't have no problem with that. But that was the roughest breakup I had.
What about when y'all break up? Like, do y'all remain close to or have y'all been in a situation where you remain close to their friends and family?
I would say family, but that's because I was friends with the sister prior to the relationship.
I feel like that only lasts for a certain period of time. Like, you know.
Yeah, because
like that first year, you know, it's like, all right, they text you happy birthday, you text them happy birthday, they call, you know, I'm talking about the family members. So, you know, you do that, and then, like, as time goes by, it's like less checking in, less this. So you kind of fade out.
Yeah, in my situation, like, I'm still, like, the kids still call me, they consider me their aunt, so I'm still super close.
I never really cultivated those relationships with the family, per se. I don't feel like. Maybe I have gotten attached to children, you know, in dealing with people, and yeah, I'll keep those babies around. But other than that,
because you don't get attached to nobody's family but your own.
Exactly. I got a lot going on. I got a lot in my own family. But no, I think that if it was something that was presented to me in that way, but I didn't never get that open arm feeling from nobody's family. Like, I want you around regardless. No. So when I stopped talking to them, I stopped talking to them too. It's just a part of it for me.
Just part of the process.
Same here. I mean, my ex I was with, I got pretty close to her family. Like, I met most of her family. And honestly, I'm still cool with some of her family. Like, we don't call and talk. Like, they don't have my number, but that Facebook connection, like, I'm still Facebook friends with, you know, her sisters and stuff like that. But after we broke up, like the relationship that I had with her mom and brother, other people that weren't really close to her, of course, that faded out. Like you said, that just eventually ended. But other than that, like me and one of her sisters, we'll comment on each other's posts every now and then. But other than that, that's it. That's it, Rick.
What about like when you coming out of a relationship? Like, do you sit back and as you're reflecting on it, do you blame yourself?
Oh yeah, I've done that a lot. Like, and blaming myself because I be like, again, another breakup. Like,
oh yeah.
So is it me? It's got to be something. The common denominator is me. So,
Yeah.
like, am I being too critical? Am I being too something? Like, what is it? What is it? Why can't we ever make it beyond, a certain point? And so, yeah, when I do that first reflections, I'm like, damn, I fucked up another one. And maybe it's me self-sabotaging my relationships.
Yeah.
But, yeah, initially that's the thought, but then I think a little bit longer. And then I'm like, nah, Mish, it wasn't you. It might have been us. But it wasn't just you. It was not just, well, maybe not cheating. Nah, that wasn't just me. Okay, so now.
I think after breakups, you look back and you reflect on, how you got to that, position. Like, how did we get there? And then you start to see, like, your own mistakes, and you look at their mistakes, and you go, you know what? Try not to do this in the next one. So, you really try to reflect and try not to pass the same judgment or do the same thing you did before, because you're in a new situation.
Yeah, I think that
because obviously that shit didn't work out the first time. So you might need to change some shit up, or you're gonna keep going through the same old thing.
Yeah.
I'm really hard on myself with that. Like when me and somebody would break up, we start talking, I do a lot of self-reflection. And it may be too much because I sit there and think about, it could have been a past situation, a past argument, and I'm like, I could have handled that differently, or I could have acted, even if it wasn't my fault, the breakup. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I feel like I can't control what they did, so who they're going to be in the future. I can only control me. And so I do tend to blame myself or try to figure out what I can do differently the next time.
I think I'm with you, Ashley. I think that's how I am. Like, I will beat myself up, and partly like what you said, Roxy, it's got to be me. I'm the common denominator because here I am again. But, after a while, you're just like, it is what it is.
Yeah.
It just, it happened. It's over. It's like you just gotta move on. So, and in moving on, like, do you take time? Like, how quickly do you move on?
It really depends on how much work you think you need, and you just have to be ready, because you don't want to go out and start dating people, and then you're not even ready. So you're going to end up hurting somebody else.
But do people really take the time
and
self-reflect?
Some people do.
Yeah. Some people don't.
I do.
Some people feel like they need to get up under something else to get over something. It ain't me.
I be so, but you be mentally. I don't understand how people can go from, like you said, all right, we're done, on to the next. I don't get it, because I be mentally drained. And my energy is drained from that situation.
Yeah, I think the thing is, when I'm in a relationship, I'm so much invested into it that it's not easy. Like, even if I tell myself I'm going to move on, it's not that easy to do for me, because I just gave too much of myself. I'm still trying to pour into me, because I'm not at a full tank yet. I'm still like halfway on empty.
So what are some of the things that you do to actually get over somebody? What are some of the things that you have to mentally do?
I do take a lot of time to myself. Of course, like we were talking about, sitting up listening to music. I try to look for more positive things to uplift me, whether that's reading, listening to self-help or motivational speakers, going out and being around friends. Sometimes, like, although I do take a lot of time to myself, there are moments where, like, y'all, my friends or whoever may reach out and be like, Nick, you want to do this, that, and even if I don't feel up to it, I still go out because I'm like, it's better than sitting in the house, reflecting on what went wrong, what happened.
Yeah.
So I do stuff like that.
Yeah, I think I do pretty much the same in regards to that. Just try to power through a lot of dark nights, dark mornings, crying.
Yes.
Pull the curtains.
Pull the curtains.
But after a while, you're able to, get yourself back up and get back out there, get back on the horse.
I think you have to allow yourself time to grieve that relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And once you set in stone, like, this is the amount of time I need, all right, cool. After that, get the fuck up.
Yeah, that's true.
For me, I go into my whole, I just want to be by myself. I don't want to be around friends. I don't want to see y'all niggas. Because friends is going to be the people that be like, actually, what happened? Where they at? How you feeling? You okay? And I don't want to be asked those questions. I just want to be left alone. Or if I do hang out with a friend, I just want to enjoy what we're doing. And I don't want to talk about that person from the past. And so, because I know people typically bring them up.
From the past, yesterday.
I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about them. I just want to forget them. I just want to go on about my business. And, like, sometimes I, like, put myself in a hobby. I try to figure out something to do around the crib or something to distract myself until I get that feeling like, oh, I haven't thought about this person today. And then that's when I know, like, okay, I'm healing from this.
So you said you don't want to be around friends. So I was going to ask you all, like, about your support system. Because I know, like, me and Roxy will get together and we drink and we laugh. And we don't always talk about it, or we may talk about it. We'll have a very emotional night. We laughing, clowning, you cry a little bit, and then you just keep going. And then if we go out, more than likely we're not talking about them. We out, we listening to music, we getting drunk, we dancing, And for me, like, if I don't want to talk about it, I would just say it. Like, if my friends are asking, I'll be like, oh, I don't really want to. Like, I'll just kind of, like, I'll do something like that, So, what about y'all? Like, what's your support system?
Anybody ask me, like, because they know, like, I'll talk about it when I'm ready. Now, they will come around just to be around me, just to be, like, in their presence.
Right.
Because they know I'm not really a talker when it comes to stuff like that. Like, I'm going to deal with it. Just give me some time. So, I'll talk to you when I'm ready. And they know not to pressure me about talking to them about it. But they will be there. They'll, want to hang out and do stuff. And I can be quiet the whole time. Or they'll just come and they'll just sit there. And we'll watch TV.
Yeah, and sometimes that's all you need.
Yeah, that's true. Pretty much the same for me as you, Annie. I just, get with you. Like a whole bunch of people here. Of course, I have my people that's in Jackson, and I can always talk to them. That's not a problem. But in regards to being around somebody and stuff like that, then I just link up and we'll go eat, which is my favorite. And drink, which is my, I don't know if that's my second or first.
Girl,
That's your first
switch.
It's on the same level.
That's your first.
Because you need food and a drink.
I think it's the same. Because
Yeah.
I need my food and my drinks. Okay, so, but yeah, I go do that, hang out, you know, when I am dragging myself out the bed.
Right.
But, you know, just trying to daily just progress up out of that deep, dark place.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So what about, so since we're kind of getting like to the end of breakups,
Mm-hmm.
do you all believe in closure? And if so, what does closure look like for you?
I don't believe in it.
You don't?
I don't believe in closure because I don't believe that people have the ability. I don't think that a lot of people have the ability to self-reflect on what they did to cause the relationship to end.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't want closure. We end it. Like,
But you don't even, sound like to me, you don't even give them the chance. Because you said, I want to forget them. You don't want to be around. So how can you get closure?
I don't seek it. I don't seek closure. Or I don't believe in I need to get closure from that person. Like,
You just deal with it on your own.
yeah, I just deal with it on my own, and I just figure out how to accept this is what it is. This is just what it is, and so at the end of the day, I'm gonna have to move on. So,
What about you, Nikki?
I'm 50-50 with it. Like, I do believe in closure, but sometimes I feel like you might not be receptive to the answer that I give you for closure. And because of that, you know, I'm fine with it.
yeah,
I'm just like, okay, you know what? This is my reasoning, and this is how I feel. Now, you say, oh, that's not it. That can't be it. Well, that's what it is, and that's what I'm telling you. If you can't accept it, then, you know, hey, we just going to have to agree to disagree, just like everything else, because that's why we're not together in the first place. And so, it is what it is.
Yeah, that's a part of the problem.
I think closure just looks differently for everyone.
Right.
Because I know for me, closure was different each time. And sometimes, like I know, like this last time, I got closure in a way where I reached out to her, I asked her a certain question, and by me knowing her, the answer that she gave, it was closure for me. I knew that this was it. I knew we weren't like before, we come back around, we talk. I knew from her answer that she gave that it was over. And I simply responded with, okay. And that was the last time that we've ever communicated. So that was closure for me. That helped me to say, okay, Neek, it's time. It's no, y'all aren't coming back together. It's over. And so now you need to start focusing on that process of getting over this person. And that was closure for me. So that's why I say closure just, it looks different. It looks different for me each time. It's not one specific thing where I feel like I need to go sit down and have a conversation with you about why this. We don't need to have that conversation, you know. So, I don't know. I think closure just looks differently.
Yeah, I just think it does look differently for everybody. I don't seek it per se, but I'm open to a conversation if someone needs to have a conversation. I would like for my relationships to be mature enough to speak on it, but the way that they end,
Just
sometimes you just know that conversation is never coming. So you're gonna have to tell yourself whatever you need to tell yourself to drag your ass out the bed. Okay? So that's just is what it is. But like you said, it's just different.
Yeah. Man, it seemed like this conversation, like, we talked about so much, but it just went by so quickly. Like, when you talking about breakups, woof, I'm just proud of myself for making it through, and I didn't walk out.
I'm proud of you too. Then, on that note, good job.
And I don't really care. I know my ex ain't listening. She ain't listening. She wasn't supportive anyway. Sorry, that's the pettiness in me.
Yes, it is.
So, but to our listeners, we definitely would like to know, like, what are some things that you experienced in breakups? If it's something that we said that you identify with, please let us know. As always, you can follow us on Instagram at Let's Have Cocktails. Our YouTube page, please subscribe. You can find us at LHC Podcast. And you can also comment on there. So, like, as you're watching or listening, just, comment, let us know. If you have any questions, ideas, feedback, anything, you can email us at letshavecocktails@gmail.com. And anything else anyone wants to add or say?
No. Thank you to the people that are following us on Instagram, because we have made it to like 3.
We're at 312.
12.
And the last time on our last episode, well, by the time this episode come out, I don't know. We may be at even more.
Yeah.
Y'all are checking in, and we appreciate. Oh gosh, we appreciate you all. Thank you for showing love, and we're gonna continue to give you more content. So, with that being said, if no one has anything else, we'll drink to that, and